You ever wake up thinking today's just another normal day until you find out you've apparently broken the law in your own garage? That's how my story starts. I just finished restoring my old Ford F-150, matte black purrs like a panther, and finally rolled it into my garage with this stupid grin on my face thinking, yeah, life's all right. Next morning I step outside, coffee in hand, and what do I see? Neon orange tape slapped across my garage door like I'm harboring a fugitive. Not from the cops, oh, no way scarier. It's from Karen Thornbridge, our HOA president and self-declared guardian of all that is beige, bland, and inoffensive in Sycamore Ridge. Her note in handwriting so perfect it makes you suspicious. Says, trucks degrade property values. Kindly relocate. And I'm just standing there half awake staring at this thing thinking, you've got to be kidding me. But that was just Karen's opening move. Next thing I know, she's sneaking around snapping photos of my garage when it's barely cracked open, then blasting those photos in the HOA WhatsApp group with captions like, unacceptable vehicle presence, as if my truck's some kind of escaped zoo animal. I'm laughing about it at first, but then she starts quoting Section 4B of the HOA handbook, vague nonsense about unsightly vehicles, and sends me an official warning claiming the sound of my engine's a public nuisance, like I'm running a NASCAR team at dawn. But here's the kicker, I hadn't even started the truck that week. And let me tell you, Karen's not just content with paperwork. Every morning like clockwork, she walks by my house, pink visor, orthopedic sneakers, phone pointed straight at my driveway. She stretches like she's prepping for the Boston Marathon, but really she's recording my garage door, probably waiting for my truck to burst out and eat her begonias or something. Eventually, she sends me a letter accusing me of running a commercial operation out of my garage. So I send her every bit of proof. I got registration, insurance, title, you name it. 5 minutes later, she CCs the board shooting back unregistered commercial use prohibited. Not commercial, Karen, it's just my classic. Things start spiraling. Suddenly I'm getting noise complaints, a mailbox notice about a $150 review fee, basically a made-up car tax, and then my post about it in the neighborhood forum mysteriously vanishes. Doug, my neighbor, shoots me a text. Turns out Karen's flagging anything she doesn't like. Then she calls a special HOA meeting, escalating threat of pickup trucks in family neighborhoods. Yeah, that was the subject line. She even shows up with slides. One's a photoshopped picture of my truck next to a broken down trailer, another some tabloid junk about trucks and crime. When one of the board members snickers, Karen gives him a death stare and hisses, "This is about our property values and our way of life." It only gets better. My insurance guy calls and asks if I've been in a vehicle dispute. Apparently, Karen filed a third-party claim for vehicular intimidation. You know what I mean? Like, how is a parked truck intimidating anyone? Then one night, my security cam catches Karen at the edge of my driveway with a tape measure, trying to see if the bumper sticks out past the legal limit, even though the truck is parked inside the garage. That's when I realized this isn't about rules, it's personal. No trucks is her crusade. You'd think it would stop there, but Tuesday, right after mowing the lawn, my phone rings. Officer Delgado, Sycamore Ridge Police Department. Are you operating a commercial vehicle on residential property? Karen actually called 911 for my parked truck. 2 squad cars roll up, officers expecting to find a meth lab, I guess. And Karen's right behind, flanked by her 2 HOA minions pointing at my garage like she's busting Al Capone. That's the truck. It's been idling every morning, sending fumes into my hydrangeas. I look at the officers, runs on unleaded, hasn't been started in days. Here's the security footage. Karen cuts in, arms crossed. He's intimidating the neighborhood. Residents are afraid to walk their dogs. Officer Delgado nearly cracks a smile. Afraid of a parked vehicle. I just shake my head. It's a pickup. Karen, not a tiger, she's outraged. That's exactly the kind of sarcasm we don't tolerate here. Now, the whole HOA is in on it, mass emails about unapproved vehicular activities, blurry photos of my garage door vandalism on my sidewalk that reads, "No trucks," in giant chalk letters. Doug catches Karen out there early one morning with a canister, but when I report it, I get fined for allowing hostile signage. The HOA doubles down 100 fine mandatory decorum seminar. Karen organizes a neighborhood safety walk, a parade of retirees in matching neon vests marching past my house, handing out flyers that say trucks are a menace to society. The twist. Some neighbors actually start buying her story, while others just think it's all a joke. Joe from 2 doors down prints bumper stickers, "Truck Lives Matter," and sells out his whole batch in a weekend. But then my trash isn't picked up. I call the waste company. Someone reported my house as commercial property, so now I'm off the regular schedule. Guess who filed the change, Karen? She's not just abusing HOA power, now she's messing with city services, trying to make my life hell. Online, she runs these fake community sentiment polls. Would you let your kids play near an active truck garage? And she uses the results to push her agenda in board updates. The final straw is a cease and desist letter from the HOA legal rep accusing me of operating a mechanical threat. Karen wants to officially amend the bylaws to ban all pickup trucks in the community. Some folks are scared to speak up, but plenty of us are just fed up. Now here's where it gets good. I start digging public records, old HOA emails, payment logs. Turns out Karen's been skimming off the top, sending thousands to her fake consulting company, Rose Point Consulting. New pergola in her yard community beautification projects that never happened, and even receipts for a drone flyover supposedly to check if I had an illegal shed. The kicker. She'd been pushing a bylaw that would let her foreclose on houses for tiny violations, like a decorative wind chime or, you guessed it, a pickup in the garage. I show all this at the next HOA meeting folder stuffed with receipts, anonymous testimony from a board member who finally had enough photos of other homes with unsightly vehicles she ignored because the owners were her friends. Suddenly, Karen's loyal circle isn't so loyal. Greg, the board's accountant, goes pale and admits she tried to get him to backdate letters and lose receipts. Even her sidekick, Pamela, looks ready to crawl under the table. Everything unravels fast. Karen screams it's all slander, but by now the room's turned on her. Chuck, an ex-Navy guy on the board, stands up and says, "Sit down, Karen, we need to talk." The board votes to suspend her. The city starts an investigation. The local paper runs with the headline, "HOA President Under Fire." Her mugshot ends up online flanked by garden gnomes and flamingos, and her reputation evaporates overnight. Her house goes up for sale, and wouldn't you know it, a mechanic named Royce buys it, parks a lifted Dodge right on the lawn, and throws a barbecue with the entire neighborhood invited. Now instead of glares and tension, the block's filled with laughter music, and yeah, trucks, lots of trucks. With Karen out, the HOA rewrites. The rule book gets rid of all the nonsense fines and rules about visual clutter and adds a new amendment that guarantees everyone the right to park their legal vehicle. The newsletter spotlights Truck of the Month, families that left come back. Martinez's daughter gets her wind chimes reinstalled. Joe throws block parties. Kids play in the street without anyone peeking from behind the curtains. My garage even becomes a sort of landmark folks pose for photos. Someone lists it on Google Maps as the garage that broke the HOA. We laugh now thinking about how one person with too much power almost ruined a good thing, but in the end she brought us all together. Funny thing is, Karen tries her routine at a new retirement community, gets herself banned in record time. Her name becomes a cautionary tale in HOA groups all over the state, and the Thornbridge Clause gets adopted to make sure nobody like her ever runs the show again. Last I heard, she mailed me a note. No apology, just one line. You may have won, but you'll never understand the importance of order. I framed it right above my tool bench. Every time I see it, I remember standing your ground, being a decent neighbor. That's what really keeps a community together. So let me throw it back to you. Have you ever dealt with a Karen or a petty HOA or just a neighbor who made life harder than it had to be? Was there justice? Did people finally stand up, or does the drama still drag on? Drop your story in the comments. Let's see who's got the wildest tale, and let's talk about what real community means. Because if you ask me, it's not about matching mailboxes or silent nights. It's about having each other's backs, even when the engines get a little loud.